Well, good morning, degenerates. Today you can see we're playing a little bit of a different kind of a game today. You see, I've kind of been contacted by two devs who've spent the last 4 years of their life developing this game that you see right here in front of them. So I'm going to leave a link to the demo of their game, or at least how to get access to that, in the description down below. Now, these devs have asked me to play this game on my channel, and well, I was super excited to hear from them, so why not? Now, this game itself is based off of the old Myth series, you know, from a little company that might have become famous a little bit later doing other stuff. Maybe they're just obscure and dead now, who knows. I have to say I have played this game a little bit on stream. Or at least attempted to play this game a little bit on stream. And I have to say, I'm fairly impressed by the quality of this game, what it looks like, and the gigantic nostalgia boner for my childhood that this thing gives me. I loved the Myth series, I loved games like Fallout, I loved games like Command & Conquer, and well, this puts me in the same kind of vibe and mood as those games used to. But with that being said, before we jump into it, I have to say that I think that there's a little bit of work that the devs still need to do. You see, I find it acceptable and I find it enjoyable that this game is very simple, very straightforward, and it reminds me of games way back when in the olden days, in the golden age that we didn't know existed until it was too late and already gone. For you see, if I bring up the dreaded task manager, you might notice that just on this opening screen we're idling at 35% of my GPU usage, and I promise you that in game this doesn't get much better, which is not a great thing. And I have to say, I'm running a fairly beefy system. It's not, you know, the ultimate top tier system, but it's fairly impressive, at least by my standards. Now, I saved up for a 2080 GPU, which is a fairly beefy graphics card by modern standards when this video is being recorded anyway. And if we're idling at 35%, that means there's some optimization that needs to be done. I'm not even sure how to fix that problem, I'm just pointing it out as best I can. Now, unfortunately, I have played this game a little bit on stream, and it turned into a little bit of a PowerPoint slide, which kind of saddened me a lot because I was really excited to share that with my viewers. But before we dive in any further, before we start a campaign, let's take a look at the options menu. So if we take a look at this options menu right here, we've got a fairly decent layout. We've got some very nice information that's right up front. I like seeing this. I really enjoy seeing this kind of stuff when it comes to any kind of options menu. We can look at our FPS directly in the game. We can show our confirmations. We can hide our formation bar if we want. We can hide our character info, which I'm not going to do because I don't know what I'm doing in this game. We can hide our time controls, we can merge our formations, and we can shake the camera on explosions. This is just nice, simple, straightforward. I enjoy that. Looking at the audio, we've got just a bunch of balancing that we can do here. Quite happy with that. If we take a look at the video, now this is one thing in the video that I enjoy a lot. This motion blur bar. Now, I believe when I dug into this options menu in the first place, this was set at 10%. However, I can drag it right down to 0, which I'm pretty happy with. That's always great. Now, we are running this on the maximum graphics because I want to see how much I can push the system. Now, the important thing to note about the frame rate drop that I showed here, it only happens through my recording software. When I was playing the game itself, it was perfectly fine. It ran smoothly, it ran well, and I enjoyed playing it. However, when it came to displaying that to my Twitch viewers online, it was kind of a little bit of a PowerPoint slide, so there's probably some optimization that needs to be done there. But aside from that, we've got some nice, very basic, very straightforward options menus. Nothing overcomplicated, nothing confusing. It's all right here and it's all right in front of you. Then moving on to the controls, we can change our speeds. We've got our basic setup for our controls. You can always just jump back to this menu if you ever get lost. I like seeing that. Nice and straightforward, very simple. Right, so after that look at the options menu, I want you to keep in mind this whole time that this entire game has been made by two people over the space of 4 years. And I find that fairly impressive. So obviously there are going to be bugs, there are going to be problems with the game, there are going to be issues. Now I'm not going to lie to you and say this doesn't activate my nostalgia boner, and that this doesn't hold a very special place in my heart. So if you were looking for me to be unbiased about things, well, I'm sorry, I'm just incapable of that. But with that comes a little bit of a disclaimer. These devs who've contacted me have asked me to play this on my channel. I have not taken any money from them. I have not taken any kind of monetary or physical reward in any form or shape. However, I do enjoy these kinds of games. I do love these kinds of games, and I wish there were more of them in the modern day. You cannot expect me to be entirely unbiased. No one is capable of being entirely unbiased, because that's just what we are as human beings. Hell, there are some people out there who think the new Lion King movie is wonderful, whereas I look at it as an abomination that should have never been created, and perhaps some of those people deserve to be in prison for scarring my eyeballs like that. Now then, as you can see, I have played a little bit, just testing it out, seeing how the systems work, seeing how everything is, but we're going to start a fresh playthrough. We're going to be starting with the training ground, because I want to show you what they give you as a tutorial. Now also, along with that, we're going to go with hero instead of warrior, because I'm not that much of a bitch, and I'm not that much of a master to play on Ragnarok. So hero is going to be a good decent level for me to play this game at and give some of my feedback back to hopefully some of these devs who see this.
Welcome to Nordic Warriors. Please follow the instructions. The camera is your point of view. Mastering the camera controls is crucial for effective gameplay. Use the W and S keys to move forward and backward.
Don't tell me what to do, I could use this as well.
Yes, that's very good. Use the A and D keys to move left and right.
So we've got our A and D keys.
Use the Q and E keys to orbit or rotate the camera.
So that's our rotations.
Great. You are in control. Use the mouse scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Excellent.
We've got some zoomage.
To change the camera angle, hold the Tab key or the middle button of your mouse and drag the mouse.
Okay, so tab and or middle mouse. So that's your tab.
Very good.
That's your middle mouse.
This is your warrior. Notice the map on the bottom right corner. The blue dot represents your warrior. Red dots are enemy units. The yellow trapezoid is your field of view. Select the warrior with the left mouse button.
Okay, select the warrior. Interestingly, okay, I thought that I couldn't click on the minimap, and I hadn't checked that before, but it seems that you can actually click on the minimap.
Select the warrior with the left mouse button.
So nice clear instructions.
Means that he's selected. To make your warrior stop any action, press the spacebar. Now your unit will take no action, even if he's being attacked.
Okay, so your spacebar is your cancel action button.
Now, move him next to the training dummy by clicking the right mouse button on the ground near the dummy.
Yes.
Okay, so that's movement.
As you wish.
Right click.
Excellent. Right-click the training dummy to attack it.
Die!
Real.
Cursed filth!
Perfect. Now it's broken. Your enemies won't be as easily defeated. You can select multiple units by double-clicking or marquee selecting. Select your warriors and right-click on one of the training dummies to attack them.
I just have to say it's been so long since I've heard the words marquee selecting. So you can double-click, you can click-drag, hotbox it, whatever you want.
Select your warriors and right-click on one of the training dummies to attack them.
And I just have to say this is a real old school tutorial, real hand-holding kind of stuff that you had to do in the old days. Which is kind of nice because anyone who's jumping into games for the first time...
Select your warriors and right-click on one of the training dummies to attack them.
He's getting impatient. If you've got someone who's basically jumping into games for the very first time in their life, this isn't too bad.
Die!
Great. Now they are all broken. Formations are essential for skillful gameplay. Select all of your warriors. press the 1 key, the line formation, and right-click on the ground.
So as you can see, you got your formations down here. Press the 1 key
On
and
my
then
way.
move.
Well done.
And they'll move in a line.
By dragging the mouse with right-click, you can choose the angle of formation. Now press the 2 key, the double line formation, and right-click on the ground while dragging the mouse to the direction you want.
Okay, so select the 2. Oh, okay, and then we can basically point them in a specific
So be
direction.
Perfect. Formation presets let you quickly select groups of units. Select several units and hold the F1 key to assign them.
So F1, select
Good.
units.
Deselect the units.
So
Now,
just click away with
press
your
the
left click.
F1 key to select them again. That's very good.
Ooh, it only selected 1 there.
The Alchemist unit can throw grenades and plant mines. Select the Alchemist and attack the training dummy.
Now, there's something interesting I have to say for the control groups part there that we saw. I have issues with the control
Select
groups
the
in the way...
Alchemist and attack the training dummy.
Okay, well, I'll tell you afterwards. I'll tell you afterwards. We're done throwing stuff at this dummy.
Yes.
Select the
Say
watch
no
out
more.
for friendly fire.
All right.
Now move the Alchemist near the exploded dummy.
Say no more. All right.
Press the R key to place the mine on the ground.
So you can drop a mine. That's his little ability
Great.
here.
Will do.
Move the Alchemist away from
All
the
right.
mine, but not too far. Press Control
do.
key and left click on the mine.
So control,
Kill
and then
them.
click on the mine. And he'll attack him.
Kill them.
You've done it.
Now that's your auto attack. That's your...
Shaman is the main hero
attack
of our
move.
story. If she dies, the game is over. She has 3 unique magical abilities. Select the shaman and attack the dummy.
So, one thing I have to say is that the attack motion
Right.
is the control key, which is a real odd one, I just have to
The
say.
shaman and
Right.
attack the dummy.
Yes. Charge!
Wow, you really need to watch out for friendly fire. The
Has
shaman
noticed
can
there's friendly
heal her
fire.
allies. Select the shaman, press the R key, and left click on the wounded warrior.
So, this is taking one of her abilities here. I think it's this healing one, and
On my way.
then we can heal that little boy up there.
You saved him. You can also convert a werewolf to be your ally. Select the shaman, press the T key, and left click on the werewolf.
So this is specific only for werewolves
All right.
in this game, it seems. But you can convert them.
Well done. You can use the C and X keys to decrease or increase the pace of the game. Try it.
So, if we look up here in the top left corner, you can see it says X1. We can go X2, so we can increase the game speed up to 8 times. And we can decrease it
Now
back down
feel
again.
free to practice what you've learned. When you're done, move a unit to the entrance of the house to exit the tutorial. You've finished the basic tutorial. Now, let the bloodshed begin.
Right. So, now I can point out something. The one issue I have here in the tutorial, it's all very nice and it's all set out and it's very straightforward, very simple to understand. The one thing I have to say is the grouping is real fucking strange, right? So you group a set of units together by holding the F1 key. And you're supposed to select them and then let them
Right
go,
away.
right? Now, as you saw before, when I hit the F1 key again, when I hit the yeah, here we go. Here's my issue. Okay. There we go. Okay, they're selected. Maybe that's only my fault. Maybe that's my fault for
Understood.
misunderstanding. Let's see. Let's see. If I'm going to put her on group 2, I have her selected. I slap F2. And okay. Yeah, she's part of group 2, as you can see down here by the highlighted key. Okay, that seems to have been my fault. I'm going to leave that in there, just so that someone else doesn't make the same mistake I did. Now, your attack move is your control key. I think that's perfectly fine. I can understand why, especially if you're using WAS and D to move around. I don't really have a problem with anything in the tutorial. I think it's very straightforward. Maybe I was a bit of an idiot, and that's the only reason I didn't understand what the hell was going on. However, my big issue is this. This right here. If you look at that, you can see that this game is running in the tutorial at the very beginning at 61% of an RTX 2080 NVIDIA GPU's usage. 61%. That's gigantic. That needs some optimization, because the lesser systems, I pray for what they're going to be able to handle. And perhaps if I drop the graphics down, and I will do those tests when I'm offline and I'm playing around with the game, I'm going to see what would be the optimal kind of graphics, because not everyone has a 2080. Most people would run something like a 1050 Ti or 1060. But it would just be really nice if they did optimize this so that there was a very low chance of anyone going to the PowerPoint slide stage, and so that people with lower end PCs can play this game quite comfortably. So we're just going to blow up some dummies here. As you can see, you can kind of use your control click, toss your shit out.
Yes.
If you control click,
I will have
right,
my revenge.
with the alchemists,
Bold of you. All right.
the bombs will explode when they hit the ground. But this is the thing, is I've noticed when you throw bombs, they will bounce off the dummy.
Right.
Now, usually I like to play this game at 2 times speed because it just feels more comfortable to me. I'm sure there are masters out there who would be happy to play this game at like 25 speed, 25x. But you know what?
Yes.
I'm not an RTS god like some people are.
To battle.
Now, if you're older than time itself, like me, and you were there to witness Moses leaving Egypt, then you probably are getting a nostalgia boner just like I am. This is a personal favorite of mine. This is a personal joy to see graphics like this. I didn't actually know there was a wolf here. If you waited long enough, that would come and just destroy everything.
On my way.
Interestingly, I want to see if that thing's going to kill us or he's just going to leave us alone.
Right.
Yep, he will kill us.
Yes.
Now, I want you to notice
On my way.
that the shaman is incredibly weak.
Right.
She dies within 2 to 3 hits depending on the enemy. These guys are your beefy frontline. You need to use them. That's just something to keep in mind. Another thing to point out by these abilities is you can always just click on them if you forget the keys. And while the game's kind of described as a real-time tactics game, and so obviously,
Right.
well,
On my way.
you know, you're gonna use tactics. Another thing to notice is that your heals here have a nice little number. That means your heals are limited. You are only allowed 12 heals every match. And that, I think, goes for the alchemists as well when it comes to their landmines. Now, a few of the issues I see here, right, is when you select units in a group. So let's say I've got the shaman selected and I select all these units. I see a nice little grouped panel of all the units. But what if I want to use the alchemist's abilities? You see, because if I do this and I use an ability, I'm going to be using the shaman's abilities. What you kind of need to do is you need to use these control groups to your best, because unfortunately you may need to memorize some stuff, because if you've got more than one alchemist in a group and you're trying to set up traps, well then guess what? You don't actually get to see what their abilities are when they're grouped like this. That's a small little gripe. It's not really an issue so much as it's just testing your memory to make sure you're not too stupid to play this game. So that has been a quick look into the indie game developed by 2 people over the last 4 years. Trying to copy the Myth series a little bit, called Nordic Warriors. The next time we go in, hopefully we'll complete that chapter. I can show you a little bit more of the game. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you have a great day. And you know what? If you like this kind of game, if this kind of thing is for you and you don't mind the old school approach, or it's right down nostalgia lane for you, I would say give this a try. So I am going to continue to play this game on my channel. I am going to make a series out of it. But for now, I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you have a great day. I hope everything goes your way. It's time now for you and I to bugger off. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now. Also, forgot to say it because I'm not really good at this whole plugging bullshit. I'm supposed to tell people to subscribe and shit. Also, you know what? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. I genuinely want your opinion on this game. Do you think that this is a good game? Do you think that this is kind of junky? It's all, I don't know, it's kind of up to how you feel about it. I like it personally, but that's just me. Okay, wasted enough of your time.